2, and we've got a good one here between the Indianapolis Colts and the Baltimore Ravens. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And the Colts pick it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And how about that for some fireworks to start this one?
And the fireworks turned out to be for the kicking team, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, go down there, make a play, knock it free, and end up with the football. And for the team who's supposed to have the ball, now their defense has to run out on the field and see if they can slow things down a bit.
A quick scramble for the helmets, and now we switch sides. On 1st and 10, it's Morgan. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And the Ravens are going to get the football here at their own 23. I'm not sure that you can say that the rain caused that interception, but look, it's clear that throwing the football is going to be tough in these conditions.
No doubt about it, and different quarterbacks handle it different ways. Some guys think the rain isn't a big deal, but wind affects them a little bit more. But you have to wonder, will these conditions hold scoring down? Are we going to have like a 9-6 type of a game? And then the pressure goes on the punters, who often hold for field goal attempts. Can they handle the snap and get the ball down so they can kick it?
They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now it's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. When he went on the move there and started rolling out, I thought there was a window, but that window closed quickly, intercepted.
And sometimes, despite how big your arm talent is, you don't get enough on a throw when you're on the move as opposed to setting your feet and stepping into one. That may have been the case there, and the defense certainly benefited.
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. They'll give to Kamara here on the option. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. And after his performance last week, everybody saw it. Unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because once you establish yourself that way, it's not just him, okay? It's his offensive line, it's the tight end, it's your wide receivers, everyone now sharing in the load and sharing in the belief that they do their job, they'll see another performance just like they saw the week before.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Kamara going to take this down just short of the goal line. He got 3, but could not get the ball over the chalk. Here's Morgan, going to throw on 3rd and goal. Accelerating, and off he goes. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Well, what a response by that defensive unit, Charles, because they just saw their offense throw the interception. They come out there, not only get an interception of their own, but they take it back for the touchdown.
I won't sing it because no one wants to hear that, but perhaps an early case of anything you can do, I can do better between these defenses. A lot of people came to expect the offense to light this game up, but so far, the defenses are stealing the show.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded just outside the goal line. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Well, this defense for the Ravens, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
Second down, and it's Kamara again. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it, and somehow he got to it and was able to recover for his squad.
Looking for Campbell downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
And how about this, a fake? And the gamble pays off. They get the first. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a 1st down. And I don't know what the method is to know when to dial up a fake punt, when not to. Whatever the method there, it worked for them.
I think you actually did explain it. There is no method. It's just a feel, a sense, and a healthy dose of guts in order to call that play in that situation.
Element of surprise, I guess, right?
Yeah, element of surprise and just a strong belief that, hey, we're going to get it done.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Play action with Morgan. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Charles, that's a pretty good response from a rookie quarterback. He's had his struggles in this game, including the interception on the last drive, but there he takes him down the field and puts it in the end zone.
I agree with everything you just said right there, and there's a silver lining to all of this, his resiliency, because let's face it, when things are going bad and you're a youngster, they often continue to go bad. But in his mind and his actions, he said, this stops right here. And how about the positive play he just turned in?
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us. Because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So Frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Jackson on the give to Dobbins, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, first down. The Ravens are 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1, and they were able to get that road victory in the opener, and now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed.
And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers. And the Colts are going to take over at their own 41. Charles, I don't know what's going on in that defensive team meeting room, but they better keep it rolling. 3 picks last week, 2 here now in the first quarter.
Everyone talks about creating turnovers and getting takeaways, but until it gets put into action, it's just talk. And right now, it's in action and in a big way. Now they've got
nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as he'll go for 2. Big play on the fumble return. They were looking for the 1-2 punch, but they couldn't get that 2-point conversion.
And I have to wonder, were they scheduled to go ahead and kick the extra point? But after a play like that, you talk about the 1-2 punch, right? It's a momentum play. Go for 2 and really try to capitalize, and that's what they attempted.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they have done themselves absolutely no favors to earn a win today in this one, Charles. The turnover woes continue on that last drive. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. And now the Ravens calling the offense onto the field here as they're going to go for 2. After the interception, here's Jackson. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off by Shaquille Leonard, the linebacker. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisive.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Ravens are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
Boy, Charles, you hate to see this for a rookie quarterback. You're hoping it doesn't shake his confidence, but that confidence, it might be shaken because that is 4 interceptions for him now in this ballgame.
It has to be shaken. Wouldn't be human if you weren't. Doesn't matter whether you're a rookie or a veteran. 4 interceptions, you're not sure what you're doing out there. So to me as a coaching staff, I would think very hard about getting him out and trying it again another day.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Jackson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Quiddy Pay getting in there and burying him behind the line.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. He'll drop to throw.
That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. A 10th carry for Kamara. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Morgan. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a 1st down. From the gun, it's Morgan. Alvin Kamara reeling it in on back-to-back plays. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy to the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something. And
I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
1st down, Morgan with it.
to the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
No gain there as he kept it himself at second down. In motion left, the tight end. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down. Defense simply not fooled by the draw there.
Well, they were thinking run to begin with, and what they tell their defensive linemen is play the run on your way to the quarterback. If someone shows, go get him, and that's exactly what they did.
So now it's 3rd and goal. This Raven defense trying to keep him out of the end zone. They'll run it with Kamara, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Alvin Kamara, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Colts get a bit closer. So the second down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
And he will not make it to the goal line. He'll come up short, and they'll be unable to get this back within 1 score as it stays a 9-point game. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. Here's Jackson to throw. He gets this underneath to Dobbins. Touchdown! J.K. Dobbins. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, this offensive unit, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
That's caught. And he will get into the end zone to bump the lead up to 3 scores. So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. And he will find his man Schwartz. That's complete. And they're going to get this up to midfield. A nice throw right there. And Charles, this is game number 2 in the NFL for this young rookie. His guys getting the victory last week, and he played pretty well by most accounts. Curious, what did you see?
I saw something similar to what you described, Brandon, because I saw a guy who looked the part, a guy who was in command, not just with the touchdown passes, but definitely looked to be in control of the offense as well. And you and I both know that's often uncommon for a rookie quarterback.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
Got an open man, it's Schwartz.
Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Here's Morgan to throw.
Over the middle, complete. It's Campbell.
And he is going to have a Colts first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down. Now Morgan. They'll get this out to Kamara.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And that hits the right upright and caroms away. It's no good. And the deficit will stay at 3 scores.
It's hard to be surprised in the miss there with the way this first half has gone. Here they were hoping to get some sort of momentum to carry them into the locker room, but even this doesn't pan out.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson looking deep downfield. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick six.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they can...
And my goodness, another interception.
And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ballgame, but that's something right there still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Suddenly it's first and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here.
They'll run with Dobbins.
They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a second and goal. False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you offside. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on second and goal.
One more time with Dobbins.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And in for the Ravens touchdown.
J.K. Dobbins.
His second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Ravens take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points.
And he will not make it to the goal line. It's his try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line.
Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 42.
Throwing now is Morgan. And he'll get this one underneath to Kamara.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's 2nd down.
Morgan looks to throw it.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue.
Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. Set to throw is Morgan. got a man. It's complete to Jelani Woods. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target.
Off of a play fake, here's Morgan.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Open man here, Schwartz, complete.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 24-yard line. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
Morgan sets up to throw on first down. And he's going to have the hook up to Schwartz. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
4 yards remain for second down. Morgan.
And now here is another interception.
Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
Those INTs all sting when you throw one in the red zone. I think especially as a rookie, maybe it stings a little bit more.
I think what you're saying is they don't all count the same, do they? Right? Interceptions in the red zone that you've given up points now, those are precious. So you have to learn from those and in a hurry.
And some room to work. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
So once more, the Ravens will come to the line here and go for the 2-point try. Jackson here is going to look to throw. And he's got it. They add on more. A little salt in the wound. 2-point conversion makes this lead even bigger. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Kamara up the middle. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Operating from the gun, Morgan. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
And they'll try to run it in with Dobbins.
And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded just outside the goal line. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 78 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. On 1st and 10, it's Morgan. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident throw.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Adave Owe. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Back now in Baltimore. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. The offense on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. Looking to throw. Morgan. Under pressure, they got him again. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive.
Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers.
And the Colts are going to take possession of the football.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. The sack there by Roquan Smith.
Well, someone is certainly having a big game. And while that sack doesn't quite have the splash of his pick six from earlier, you know he's thrilled to be making big plays during a great individual effort today.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Brewer. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Throwing from the gun is Morgan. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Alvin Kamara. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Colts get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. And now the Colts are going to keep the offense on the field as they'll go for two here. And he will get into the end zone as the deficit moves from really bad to slightly less than really bad. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. We've paid this offense plenty of compliments already, but, I mean, they are deserving as they start another series. To be leading by this much with so much time left to play in the fourth, Charles, it's really been impressive to watch.
It has been, and you have to think to yourself, the preparation that went into this, but the absolute focus that they kept throughout in order to have this kind of a result. This is Super Bowl-esque, and they've got to feel awfully good about what they put out there today.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw complete there to Bateman. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And I actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the third quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the fourth quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
Jackson on first down. That's Cordero Patterson hauling it in. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Colts force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the fourth quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
A nice little juke. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Well, CD, they just haven't had a whole lot to cheer about or really grasp onto in this game. They've been dominated, but at least they get a late touchdown here, something positive to put on film for tomorrow's session.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it.
Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare them
I was
to do
going to
that?
ask you, maybe they saw something on film, but do you see something on film with those to try something from the 15 on a PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hold, and someone kicking the ball through the post.
Now Jackson on first down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown. Isaiah Likely, 46 yards. And the Ravens are on their way to a 2-0 start. So I tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you, and I agree with you, no question about it. They won easily last week. They're on their way to another lopsided victory here. They're definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they are serving notice to the rest of the league.
And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. Boy, 196 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Kamara. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Morgan off of play action. Then he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. And now here is another interception.
And the Colts are going to take possession here at their own 33.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Able to slither by. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10.
Play action with Morgan.
He finds his man, complete. It's Schwartz. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. And now the Colts are going to keep the offense on the field as they'll go for 2 here. They're going to keep it on the ground. And it's incomplete. But a flag is down here, so hang on. Let's see what we've got. Well, you hate that defensively. They had him pretty well corralled, but the face mask, that obviously changes things.
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating because you feel like you did everything right. You had him stop, but the hand gets up just a little too high, and the natural inclination is to hold on, and that's going to get called every time.
And they'll turn to Kamara. And he will dive into the end zone, and the 2-point conversion is successful. Well, at least at the very end, there's something to take away. They lost the game, but it got in the end zone, got a 2-point conversion as well. I don't know, though. In the end, you still lost the football game.
You still lost the game, but maybe they were just capitalizing on the flurry at the end, right? You scored the touchdown, keep the momentum going, go for 2. Maybe they're working on something for down the road. As you said, it doesn't matter. You lose the game, but you finish with a touchdown and a successful 2-point.
Some sort of a good win.
Yeah, something.
So for Baltimore, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville.